All right. Good evening once again. This is Digitech Hub. All right. So what I have on my screen is what the analysis we have performed so far using Excel Advanced Aggregates function, which can also be defined as Excel multiple. Could I say Excel statistical functions? If I could remember the whole of this set of analysis, we use the one with the single criteria analysis, and then we started looking at multiple criteria analysis, which I categorize as the advanced and the last part of this set of functions, which are mainly used for exploratory analysis. I hope you understood what we have done so far, down to where I am right now.
Yes.
So here we, out of the three of them that I mentioned, I said just like the way we have the sum if, the way we have the count if, the way we have the average if, we also have the sum ifs. Let me type it so that you can see it. We have the sum ifs, the one with S, and then we also have the count ifs, the one with S, and then as well as average ifs. So I told us that the difference between this set of function from the ones that do not have the S. Sorry. From the ones that do not have the S is the multiple criteria definition structure or nature. I told us that the difference between these, let me type it so that if you have just some if like this, and then we have the count if, and then we also have the average if, just like this. The difference between this and this is the absence of S and the presence of what? S.
Yes.
I told us that these particular ones are only used where your analysis question has just one criteria. And that is the analysis we have performed here. All these analyses were done with a single criteria. And then I said, if you want to go multiple, probably you want to analyze with multiple conditions, or criteria, then you have to shift from this to this set of function. And I gave you the official definition of this. I said these are also Excel advanced statistical function that requires multiple criteria for using them to perform analysis. So because of time, we only apply what? The first one. So this section, I want to dedicate it to complete the whole of this section. Then if the time permits us, I can now introduce us to another advanced function. Well, let's quickly round up this. So we have already applied the sum if. So I will just start with the count ifs and then conclude it with the sum ifs. But since it has been a while, and from the way I am looking at it, it looks as if you are having some issues with the count if. I don't know why you wanted to do the count ifs, or maybe was it the count if, because I know I've not done for count ifs. Maybe that is the reason why you have except if it's the count if without the S you were trying to implement. So what I'm going to do is just to refresh our memory, I will just take the sum ifs again and then conclude the other two. All right?
Okay.
So now,
All right.
so let's start. Let me take us to the data set. Let me quickly take us to the data set so that we can look at the question we want to answer with the sum ifs. So the question I want to answer is, I want to summarize. You can write it down. The analysis question
Okay.
is summarize
Okay.
employee, summarize employees' basic salary per department where grade is trainee. Where grade is trainee. So you can see this is two criteria. We have two criteria here.
Yes.
The first one is per department, and the second one is what? Where the grade is equals to trainee. So this kind of question cannot be answered with the one without the S. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to copy. If you look at the question, the first part of the question defines the first criteria. So I'm going to copy all the departments. I'm going to take the department. I will select everything here and then Control C. Go back to my dashboard. So let's say I want to paste here. Control V. And then remove duplicates by going to data. Please make sure that you are not distracted. Your lights distract, your screen is not still. So go to data and then you select remove duplicate. So I'll confirm the column where I have the values. I'll click OK. So first I've removed what? I have ended up mentioning only one department representing all the transaction in the data set. Now I have the header, so I will type the header for the output, which is that is total. That is total. That is total. All right, so now the next thing is for me to write the sum if equals to sum ifs. So I'm picking the one with S. And if you look at the criteria, is different from the one without S. This one mandate us to use a number argument first. And if you look at the question we are answering, which says summarize employee basic salary per department, the basic salary is the only number argument in the whole of the three of them that I mentioned. So I'll first of all capture the basic salary range from my data set. So like I said, to give room for tomorrow entry, select the alphabet representing it so that you can select the entire cells in that column. Then you put your comma. So the next one is the criteria range 1. So that one we just did is a constant. You have not started calling the range where the criteria is. So the criteria range 1 is the range where the first criteria is, which is what? The department. Because the question says we should summarize based on department, which means that department is the first what? Criteria. Where do we have it in the data? That is the range 1. So you select the entire department and then you put a comma and then it's asking us for what? Criteria 1. So criteria 1 is already mentioned in our dashboard. So I'll go back to our dashboard and pick the first department, which is marketing. So that's is the end of what? Criteria range 1 and criteria 1. Are you following?
Yes.
Good. Now, the moment you add a comma, it will ask you for criteria 2 and range what? And criteria 2. Criteria range 2 and criteria 2. So you can see the logic now. So now, what is criteria range 2? Criteria range 2 is the range where you have the criteria 2, which is what? Grade. So I'll go back to the data set and
Okay,
then
excuse, let me ask question. I want to ask question.
go
Should I
ahead.
go
Go
ahead?
ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
some range is the total, the total basic salary.
Yes.
Then criteria range 1 is for the first criteria, right?
The
Which is
first
per
criteria range.
department.
Yeah, department.
Yes. Then criteria 2.
Criteria 1 is the
Okay.
selection of one of the departments in your software.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay.
You must
Okay.
have criteria range 1 before you have criteria
Okay.
1. Are you getting it
Okay.
now?
Yes.
So
Okay.
my criteria range 2 is where the criteria 2 value is. And if you look at the question
Great.
says summarize employee basic salary per department, where
Yes.
grade, which means that this is where my second criteria is. So I'll pick the what, the alphabet, comma,
Yes.
the
Yes.
criteria 2. Had it been I have mentioned this in my dashboard, I will switch back to my dashboard. But in this case,
Okay.
it's not mentioned there. So I will select the first one, right? You should remember the
Uh-huh.
logic. You select the first trainee. You select the first trainee. In other words, you are picking your criteria from the data. Unlike
Okay.
when we pick our criteria 1 from our dashboard because we have already listed the unique department over there.
Eh,
But in
Yes.
this case, they are not mentioned there. So we have to
Mm.
pick the first one from the data. Is that clear?
Okay. Okay.
Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, so now that is the end of what? Criteria 2, right?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
supposing I want to go more, I want to make it 3 criteria, what will I do? I'll put a comma,
You
right?
yes, put
I'll
a
put a
comma.
comma.
Yes.
Okay, let me make it 3 criteria. Let's assume that I'm adding this one now. The third criteria is where tasks. We want to exempt some stuff. Where task speed,
Uh,
where task speed is greater than 120,000. They are the only ones where task. So I'm just adding this one at the third one. So I will just add a comma.
okay.
Once
Where
I add a comma, what do you get now? Criteria what? Range 3. So where
range
the
3.
criteria 3 is, which is what? Task. Are you getting it
Okay.
now? Then
Uh-huh.
comma, then criteria 3 is not in the data set. You have to use string. Remember, you open the quotation.
Hmm.
Sorry, what this one? So you open the quotation and then you write the greater than sign inside. You say what? Greater than 120, 120,000, 1, 2,
Okay.
3. And then you close it also. Do you understand that logic?
Yes.
Why I am putting this because there's no way I can pick one here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now you press enter. So you see that what? We got 0 here. So we're going to know why we are getting 0. We are going to see why are we getting 0.
0.
So probably we have mixed up somewhere. So I'll be very fast now since we have done it before. So sum if, then the sum range is the selection of
Basic
this. So let me
salary.
just select it like this here. I don't want to pick it from, I'm trying to verify why it outputted 0. So let me go with this kind of selection,
Okay.
comma, then criteria what? Range 1 is the
Range 1,
selection
which is
of
department.
department. So this is an
Yes.
avenue for you to. Now you can see that I'm trying to use another selection method to see where
Yes.
the error is. Then comma.
Okay.
Then
This
criteria
is
one, I have this
criteria
mentioned. I
one.
come here and pick this.
Which is
Right? Then criteria range 2, I'll go
marketing.
back to the data
Okay. Yes.
and pick everything I have under what? Grid. Right? Then
Grade.
criteria 2 is to
Yes.
select the first
One
tree.
of the.
All right? Then criteria 3
Okay.
is what?
Yes.
Task. I'll select this,
Task.
then comma. Then criteria 3 is for me to quote it. So I'll bring in,
Greater than
yes, greater than
1,000. 120,000.
120,000. 1, 2, 3. And then, right? So if I press
Yes.
enter, I'm still getting 0. I'm still getting 0.
But I think it's
Let me
right.
see.
So
Oh, I think, hope we are correct.
it's right because
You have a suggestion. You have the solution.
I wanted to say it's right. It's greater than.
Yeah. But if we say greater than, I think we are correct. Just that the criteria
Yes,
is not met.
Eh.
So let's remove this one and see whether we'll meet criteria.
Okay.
Let me just do for the 2. You understand? So that we
Okay.
know whether
Yes.
it's that last one that is causing the problem. Let's do
Okay.
for
Okay.
just 2. So
All right.
let's quickly take that. So which means now that we know where our error is, so we can just go with the other selection. Then
Yes.
criteria range 1 is this.
Apartment.
Right?
Yes.
The
Yes.
criteria 1 is the
Is
selection
one
of this.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Then criteria range what? Range 2 is
Range 2.
the grade. Have it?
The grade. Yes.
This is the grade. Then criteria range what? Sorry,
3.
criteria 3 is this.
Okay. Yes. Criteria 3. Yes.
So
Trainee.
you can see it now. So the issue was the function was actually correct, but none of the criteria was the whole of them were not met. That was the reason why we're getting that. I hope that is clear. So even now, we still have some that did not meet the criteria. That's why we are getting a 0. So the
Okay.
next
We'd not use the greater than again.
yes, to use something like I'd not use the greater than just to know whether the mistake was from us actually. So from this now, it means that we are doing the right thing, but only that the 3 criteria were not met. So that is
Okay. They are not meant to be together.
Yes. So
Yes.
which now I also explained that you must learn to visualize with graph. So after you have got to your report, you highlight everything, click on the quick analysis icon, go to what? Chart, right?
Chart.
And then use your convenient chart in order for you to easily identify your trend and the pattern. So with my graph, I can easily say that which of the departments has the highest. You can see what we have here is credits, right?
Credit.
Followed by this, and then also take note of the list. All right. Then the pattern, you can also observe that. So that is how to apply the sum if. So let me go to the count if. Hope you are following.
Okay. Yes, I'm following.
Good. So count ifs. Let's look at the count if. So what I want to ensure is just to round up this set of function, probably in this section, so that the next class we start a new another advanced function, so you can go and still master this set of functions because they are very important. They are very important. You must know them from the general one to single criteria to multiple criteria. All right. So now the count if. Let's get question for the count if. So let's assume that this same question that we answer, we want to know the number of transactions that generated this. We want to know the one that generated this. We want to know the one that generated this, which means if I'm to merge this just to write our question, our analysis question for counting will be, write it down because you take everything as an assignment. So our analysis question for the application of this will be count the total number of total entry or transaction, right, per department where grade is trainee, where grade is trainee, where grade is trainee. You just give me 1 second. Oh. All right, I hope you are still here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I said where grade is what? Trainee. So this is actually the question we answer
It's trainee.
with some if, but we want to answer it with the count if. And like I once told us,
Okay.
sometimes our statistics may not be accurate until we perform the counting analysis. Okay, because you cannot just tell the company that this amount of money will be spent or was spent to pay basic salary of employees in marketing departments where their grade is equal to what? Trainee. So they would like to also know, okay, like how many of them do we have there that we have to pay with this amount? So that is the question we are trying to answer with the count now. So that once we are asked that kind of question, we know exactly what we can say. So the same thing, since the question tally, I will just copy this. Hope you remember, because I
Yes.
still need the department the way it
Yes,
is
sir.
in this one. So I will just come here and paste.
Paste
And then
it.
what I will do is to clear the function I use here, and then probably increase this, and then enter my function
Equals
here. So I'll do
count
count
if.
ifs. So you can see I'm using the one that has what? S.
Yes.
Count ifs. So you can see that the syntax is shorter compared to the other one.
Yes, so the
Are you with
criteria
me?
is
So the syntax is shorter. So all we need to do here is the criteria. You can see that in the case of some if, there was some range, which must
so
be a number. It's not here.
yeah.
It's
Yes.
not here. So you only have that thing in some ifs and average ifs. So here,
Yes.
the criteria range 1 is the first range where you have the criteria 1. So I'll go back to that set, which is this.
Department.
You agree
Yes.
with me? Department.
Yes.
The criteria 1 is already mentioned here, which is what?
Yes.
We are putting this, right? The comma. Criteria range 2 is the selection of what? The grade, right? Comma.
Yes.
The criteria 2 is the selection of the first trainee. That is all. Then I'll press enter. So I have 4 of them. So if I'm asked tomorrow that this 400,000 will be spent for how many employees? So I have, a response here. That what? 4 of them that meet that criteria. So you can see that those ones that show 0 here, and even as we run that function now, maybe this one has a value here, then we know that something is wrong.
Wrong, yes.
Right? So now you can also visualize it, highlight it. I can use this one to visualize it to know the highest. So the highest is credit. Can you see it here? You know that I'm trying to save space. I don't want to.
Which one did you use now? Which one did you use?
Good. I don't want to. Yeah, the reason why I use this is that I don't want to create, I'm trying to economize my space. So I am embedding the graph on the same what report model. So what I did is that after highlighting the entire area, and then I click on this quick action, quick analysis icon. So instead of me going to chart, while I'm still under formatting, I select data bar. So from this, I'm able to know the highest, go the what, using the bar, you will know the higher, which is what, credit. And you will also agree with me that the credits happen to be the highest here also. So now, another statistics that we have found out here is that if we are asked that, why did this one have the highest? So I cannot say that, oh, it's based on the number of what? Employees that are there. So it has highest number of employees with 10. That is the reason why the sum of the salary is higher than what other. So let's check audit and see whether it's because of the numbers of employee that makes this to have a higher value as well. Let's check the audit. So the audit, yes, audit have 6, legal have 6. Let's check whether they have the same, almost the same bar. So you can see audits. So I have a tangible reason as regard to why audit is the next highest. Then I can see that legal and audit have, or they have the same number of employees. I hope you are following.
Well, yes, I'm following.
All right, so that is for the count ifs. So what I'm going to do, I'll give you 10 minutes to replicate the count if. 10 minutes, you share your screen before I look at the last one, which is the average if. So you can go ahead and share your screen now. Let me allow you to do one so that the assignment will not be difficult for you. So you can share your screen.
Okay. Let's start that. Okay. Are you seeing my screen?
Are you widening up your screen? Let it cover the entire.
Are you seeing it now?
Yes, I am. I'm seeing it. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, I want to do the count if. So they count the total number per department where grade is trainee. Okay, first of all, let me copy my department. I think I have, okay, let me copy it and remove duplicates. Okay, let me go to my data.
Just continue.
Department, yes. Control, shift, and come. You are seeing my work. Okay, go to dashboard and paste it. I'll paste it. Then let me remove duplicate. Remove duplicate. Okay. Let me widen up my okay. Great. Then total number of
Please be explaining what you are doing. I'm here.
Okay, I just removed duplicate now. Okay, so I want to answer the question. Say count. I want to merge and center. So I want to write my question here. So count. Okay. Count total number per department, a department where grade is trainee. I need to widen up here. What's going on? So if I have something like this now, what do I do here? Because I wanted this thing to be showing, but it's not.
What is not showing?
The count, like Sina is not showing, and the E is not showing.
You
Is it that
increase the you expand it. That is why you need to learn to shorten the header. You don't need to write it so long. You will have just find a way of reducing it. You can just say what total count. You don't need to write it like this. Total count is enough.
Okay, well,
But if you still want to maintain it, then you have to expand the whole of that column to the length, to cover the length of that writer.
let me leave it like this because of time.
Okay.
Because of,
So what you do now is
because
that
of,
trace that line, the next line, trace the next line, the vertical line. No, where you are selecting now, not there. Go to where you started entry. Yes, click there. Click, no, the next one to it, the next one. Click there. Or you have trace the border line up and double click so it will expand automatically. The one, no, that is not the one you are tracing. The other side. No. In that column that you are. No. Before the look up. The line that is touching the T for total, that is the line you have to trace up. Good. Trace it up, and double click. Trace it up and yeah, double click.
I've done that. It's not working.
You did not double click.
No,
Yeah, click
it's
on
not
it and drag it. Oh yeah, drag it manually. Drag it. Hold down the button and drag it. Hold
okay.
down. Oh yeah, drag. It's not dragging as well. Drag. Keep dragging out. Oh yeah, stop somewhere there. You have over dragged it now. So leave it like this. I just wanted you. Did you merge cell before?
Did I do what?
Did you merge cells in that place?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Oh, okay, no wonder.
I
You
did
shouldn't
merge
have
and
merged.
center.
No, you shouldn't have. That is nowhere to merge cells. So you can leave this one, and then your grade should not be on the same row. So you take that grade down. That means what? That one is just to write the question. Then for the analysis table, you bring it down. Highlight everything and drag it down. No, highlight from grade to sales supervisor. Please, I've taught you how to move content. Place the pointer on any of the border and move it down. No. Okay, good. Move it down. Oh yeah, stop there. All right. Now you put the total in front of it here. Total in front of grid. Total count in front of grid. Good.
Done.
Yeah, continue.
Okay. So let me continue with my question.
Yes.
Equals to count ifs. I'm using S function. That is this one. It's a mistake. So say criteria range 1. So I'll now go to my data and select department and select department. Then put comma and go to criteria 1. Then criteria 1, I'll go to back to my dashboard.
Okay.
Okay. Then I will now select manager. Then put comma. Okay, say criteria range 2, which is where grade. I'll now go to my data and select grade. Then put comma. Then say criteria 2. Then in this criteria 2, they say grade is trainee, where grade is trainee. Then I'll go back to my dashboard and select trainee. Or I would have, I don't know. I would have
Make sure that
selected
you
it
follow it
rather.
up so that you don't make mistake. Make sure you follow it up.
Okay. I think I made a mistake. Some else. Count if criteria range 1, which is department, comma, then criteria 1, which is one of the departments, comma, then say criteria range 2, which is grade, then I put comma. But here now, please, am I supposed to click select trainee here, or I should
Yes,
go back to
yes.
my
No,
dashboard?
no, no. You don't have trainee in your dashboard. So select the
Okay,
first one. Select the first one.
okay. Here, ba?
Yes.
So I can now click enter.
Yes.
I still have 0.
You did not get it now. Go back again. Let me follow it. Maybe you have missed it off somewhere.
Okay. Okay. Count ifs. Criteria range 1, which is department.
Comma.
Are you comma? Then criteria 1, which is I'll go back to my dashboard, right?
Yes, yes. Because you have it mentioned there.
Yeah. Here, I'll select manager.
Okay.
Then I'll put comma.
Is that
Then
your criteria? Okay.
criteria range 2.
Now, you see, this is where you are getting it from. What you ought to have. Which question are you asking?
Count the total number per department where grade
No,
is trainee.
it is department that you are supposed to mention here. That place that you have grade listed, it is department you're supposed to list there. From your question. Grade, we are picking it from the data. Did you understand it?
No.
This place you listed manager, officer, trainee. You are supposed to list department there. So clear, delete it, go and bring department there. That's what I'm saying. Did you understand it now?
Okay, yes, so yes, so
Yeah,
okay,
go and do that.
okay. Let me delete this one now before pasting. Delete. Okay. Department. Okay. Control C. Then I come here. I'll Control V. Then I'll now remove duplicate. Expand the continue with currency. Column Q. Okay. Then total equals to count ifs, count if criteria range 1, which is total department, which is department, comma, then criteria 1. Okay, I'll go back to my dashboard and select marketing. Hey, I'm supposed to put data here, but let's just leave it. I'll correct it later because of time. Then criteria range 2, which is department, which is grade. Then comma, then it was to trainee. Okay, I have 4.
Okay, good. Just autofill now.
Let me drag it down. Yeah. Done. So let me put it on chart. Hey, I'm supposed to put, okay. Let me do it this way. Data. Compliance. Compliance. Okay, I'm done.
All right. So you can stop sharing. Let me conclude with the last function. So I will now assume that we have mastered the first two, the sum ifs and the count if.
Yes.
So let's quickly look at, let's end it up with the average if. Let's look at the average if. Average ifs. Right? So like I explained when we were talking about the average if and the sum if, the difference between the average is that you have summation in the average, but you are dividing that summation with the total number of what? Entries. So which means that, let me highlight the question. So let me merge the whole of this together and say the question is analyze the total average of basic salary per department where grade, just like we answered the other, where grade is trainee as well. I hope you are following. where
Yes,
grade is what? Trainee. So let me also give the same format here to this section. I'll select my format printer and then click here. So now, to answer this question, we will have to list out this, so I can actually copy this also, because department is still what mentioned there.
yes.
So let me try and be on the same alignment just to have an interactive dashboard. So I'll clear this, then expand this a little. So now this is where I'm going to enter my function, which is the average ifs. That's the focus, average ifs. Now you can see what I was saying now. When we are working with the sum ifs, we have a constant number argument, which is sum range, right? So the same thing, just like the way you apply the sum ifs. So this must be a number. This must be a number before you start talking about criteria range 1 and what criteria 1 and so on. So this is going to be the selection of the basic what salary argument. So good. So I'm selecting this to represent that constant. Now criteria range 1. Criteria range 1 is where your criteria 1 is, which is what? Department, right? So I'll select that, add a comma. That's my criteria range 1. My criteria 2 is mentioned in the dashboard. I'll select the first department, comma. Then criteria range 2 is the range where you have the criteria 2, which is going back to the data set and select everything I have under what? Grade. And then comma, criteria 2 is the selection of the first trainee as mentioned in the data set. Then so you can see it, and then I can now also fill. So these ones are those ones that you got 0. Are those ones that you got 0. So you can do away with them by deleting them. You understand? To avoid any confusion. So you can also visualize, select this, and then probably let me use graph this time around. Can go to more graph. I can say, okay, I want to use this. I've used this before, and then I can just find a way of positioning it so to have a good design. All right. So from here, we can easily identify our trend. The trend here is audit, and what? And compliance. So any question? Any question?
No.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of this set of functions, which I categorize under Excel Advanced Statistical Function. So there's no question. We will just look at the if itself. The if itself. You know, all this while we have been using sum if, count if. So the if itself is the function that can be used to answer or to achieve something when you are analyzing. So let's look at just right. So this will bring us to the end of it. You write if, just write application of, let me merge the sets together. Application of if function.
Okay.
Application of if function.
Function.
So how do we define it? Right. The if function is a logical function in a cell. The if function is a logical function in a cell, which is basically used for assignment of statements. Which is basically used for assignment of statements. Which is what? Basically used for assignment of statements.
Of statements, okay.
Yeah. Now, let me just cite a perfect or one of the scenario here. It might be a different thing based on the data set you are working with. Now, let's assume that after you have answered this question and you have the total count of employee based on the department that are in grade trainee, and the company want to award them. Maybe there is an award, probably maybe to the manager in this department or whatever. The award is going to be the total count. It's going to be based on the count of the employee. I'm just citing this as an example. So we have some item we want to give to the managers in this department based on the counting. So let's assume that we have car to give, we have a generator to give, and then we have laptop to give. Now, but how do we want to give this item? Let me bring them closer to where I want to make use of them. So how do we want to give this item? It's based on performance. So which
Yes,
means
sir.
that the credit will receive what? Car, because it's the
A
highest.
car,
Car is the
yes,
highest.
yes.
And then that is operation will receive
We
a
receive laptop, generator.
laptop, generator,
gen-
because we can have a bigger generator. Then,
Yes, sir.
but maybe another count, we take the laptop, and then there's a margin that we are going to set. So we are going to say
Okay.
that if the total count is greater than or equals to 10, greater than or equals to 10, they should be given what? Car. So between greater than or equals to 10. So then we cannot do another range if the total count is greater than
Or equals to
or
8.
equals to 8 to be given gen, and then if is greater than total count is greater than or equals to 6,
Equals to
be given to what? Laptop.
okay.
Then those that score 1 will not be given anything. Those
Yes.
that score 1, 2, 3, 4 before that last
0.
one, which is 6, will not be given anything. So how do you program this? So in this case, we are going to be assigning. So let's say this is where I want to assign the reward. So I will just put here award. So I'm just adding this
Okay.
column now. So this is where
Okay.
I'm going to write my function. It's a logical function that has two values, true value and false, true or
Okay.
false. Now, if the criteria is met, that's the true value. If it's not, that is the false value. So I will say art. This art is one of the logical operator when we started. Remember I said we have arithmetic operator, we have relational operator, and then we have logical operator. Then you say at if is a statement, then you open the bracket. What does it have? Logical test, value if what? True,
True.
value if
If
false.
false.
Now, based on what you want to achieve, the logical test is the selection of this. Are you getting it now?
Yes,
The
sir.
selection of this, which means that what? You are going to be comparing the value you have here to the criteria you want to define. Did you understand that?
Yes.
That is what you are saying. Now, you will now do greater than or equals to,
10.
what is the first one? Equals to what?
10.
10, right?
10.
10,
Yes.
then comma, we will now assign. That assign, you put it in quote. Assign what? Car, right?
Yes.
Assign
Yes.
car, assign car. Then you also quote it. Now you put a comma, that is you are done with this particular set of counts. Now you now start again at if. So this is just like you are collecting different if. You are using multiple if to probably
Okay.
what to achieve something. Now
Okay.
the same bracket, then we are picking this same because once we
Yes.
get for this, we will auto fit to get others. That is why
Okay.
we are working with this range. So the same equal greater than or what equals to, we are going for 8, right? For 8, they should be assigned what? They should be assigned, what did they say? We are giving the gen, have they? They
Yes.
should be assigned gen. They should be assigned gen, then comma. So what to do for the last category? So the last category, the way it happened is that, okay, let's take the last category is, we start with the at if again,
If.
at if, then pick the range, and then greater than or equals to what? 6, right? Comma,
Yes.
we are assigning what? We are assigning laptop. Right? We are giving them laptop. We are giving them laptop. All right.
Okay.
Now, the next, all these ones, they are true value. That is, if one of the criteria is met, they will be given that's the true value. So where any of these criteria does not or is not met, what will Excel display? We will say what? Not qualify.
Okay.
So that you just bring a comma because that's the last one. It was not start with at if again because that is the last option that will represent the first value. So you just put a comma and just do something like this. Put the first value in the quotation. You just say what? Not qualified. Not qualified. All right. So once you have stated all your criteria, both the true and the what, the first value, then you close the bracket with the same number of brackets you open. So the best place to count the bracket is here. This is 1, right? This is 2. This is 3. Remember that we did not open brackets for this last one.
Yes.
So how many brackets are we closing with? 1, 2, 3. So I'll close shift and 0. 1, 2, 3. And then hit enter. So you can see this one say what? Not qualified.
Not qualified.
So is our command correct? Is it correct?
So yes, it's qualified. Autofill.
Let's autofill and see. You can perfect. So we have car, we have 10 car, we have 8. So that is how to use the if function on its own without attaching it with any of those functions. Do you understand it?
Yes.
All right, so this is where I am going to draw the curtain. So your assignment is to update. Remember that I did not really take time to format. Make sure that all your work are properly arranged and well formatted with good color. So you go and update that your dashboard with all this that we added.
Okay.
Okay, so the next class, write it down, we'll look at conditional formatting. We are going to look at another advanced Excel function, which is known as conditional formatting. We are going to see how we can use it to analyze data. But before that, before we close, I'll have an update for you. You are going to join, there's a class that hosts the same time. So which means that this particular class started before you. They just finished Excel. They just finished Excel. And the class hosts on Tuesday and Thursday, just twice in a week. Write the date down. Tuesday, Thursday, the same time, 9 to 11 p.m. The same time, 9 to 11 p.m. So this is what I want us to do. This is what I want us to do. You'll be having, they will be starting Python. They will be starting Python, how to analyze with Python this coming Tuesday, this week that we are entering.
Okay.
Are you following? So you will follow them because what we have learned now is enough for you to learn. It will not contradict anything. Then we will now create, I will communicate with you. I will create a separate class for us to continue with this Excel. So once you finish Excel now, then you will now continue with them. Hope that is taken.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to add you to the group once I end this class now, where I normally post their link. So I'll no longer be sending that particular class link to you. So once you find it there, is this one that I'll be sending you the only link, this one. Why the
Okay.
link for that class, Tuesday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. will be sent to that group.
Okay.
All right, so just go and do the assignments.
All right.
All right, good night.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.